Hello and welcome back to TalkUp, where you learn English by listening. Before we begin, I have a quick question for you. Where are you listening from right now? Are you on a bus, in bed, studying at your desk? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to see where our amazing listeners are tuning in from. Today's story is going to be a long one, filled with mystery, decisions, and a surprising ending. So grab a drink, sit back, and let's practice your English together. It was almost midnight when Daniel, a 30-year-old travel photographer, arrived at the old hotel on the edge of town. He had been driving for hours through the rain. Tired and wet, he just wanted to sleep. The hotel looked strange. It was tall, made of grey stone, with vines growing along the walls. Inside, the lobby was quiet. No music, no people, just a ticking clock. An old man at the desk looked up and smiled. "Good evening," he said. "We've been expecting you." "Expecting me?" Daniel asked. "I didn't make a reservation." The man didn't answer. He simply gave him a key. "Room 313, end of the hallway." But when Daniel walked down the hallway, there was a door where room 313 should be. But it had no number, just a black keyhole. He looked back. The hallway was empty. He took a deep breath and opened the door. The room was dark, cold, and silent. The curtains were closed, the lamp wouldn't turn on, but the bed was made, and someone had left a cup of tea, still warm. Daniel felt uncomfortable, like he was being watched. He turned to leave, but the door wouldn't open. Then he heard it, a whisper. "Don't trust him." Daniel froze. "Who's there?" No answer. Just silence. He turned on his phone flashlight and pointed it around the room. There was a mirror across the wall, but something was wrong. In the mirror, he saw himself, but his reflection was smiling, and Daniel was not. That night, Daniel couldn't sleep. He lay in the bed, staring at the ceiling. At 2:13 a.m., he heard footsteps in the hallway, then whispering, then someone knocked on his door, but when he opened it, no one was there. He looked down. A small piece of paper was on the floor. It said, "If you stay, you'll forget who you are." He ran back into the room, heart racing. He looked around again. Then he noticed something new. On the wall near the bed, there were names scratched into the paint. Dozens of names, but the last one said Daniel Harris. Daniel couldn't believe it. How did his name get there? He had to leave. Now he grabbed his bag, phone, and ran to the door. But when he opened it was no longer a hallway. It was a forest, a cold, dark forest. Behind him, the hotel was gone. Just trees and fog. "This can't be real," he whispered. Then he saw someone standing between the trees, a woman in a red coat. "Don't go back," she said. "Why?" Daniel asked. She looked at him. "Because once you sleep in that room, the hotel remembers your name, and it never lets go." Daniel didn't sleep. He walked all night, trying to find a road, a sign, something. Morning came, and finally, he saw it. A gas station, a man, a phone. He was free. But even now, years later, Daniel never stays in hotels, and he always checks the room number, just in case. It has no number. 2 weeks later, Daniel was back in the city. He was safe, or at least he thought he was. One afternoon, while going through his old camera photos, he saw something strange. In a photo he took before arriving at the hotel, there was a man standing near his car, A tall man in a black coat. Daniel zoomed in. The man was watching him, and his face looked familiar. It was the man from the hotel lobby, the one who gave him the key. But this photo was taken 2 days before Daniel went to the hotel. That night, Daniel's phone beeped. It was a message from an unknown number. It said, "You left the room, but the room didn't leave you." Daniel blocked the number. A few minutes later, a new message came. "Blocking won't help." Then a second one, "We remember your name." Daniel dropped the phone and looked at his window. Outside, parked across the street, a black car, no lights, no sound, but someone was sitting inside. Daniel knew he couldn't escape this alone. He went to the city library the next day to search old newspapers and records. After hours of reading, he found an article. Local hotel closed after multiple guests disappear. The photo in the article was the same hotel. The article said it had closed in 1983. Daniel checked the address. It matched exactly. But how? He had just stayed there last week. That's when a librarian walked over to him. "You shouldn't read about that place," she said. "Why not?" She looked at him sadly. "Because once you visit, the story doesn't end." Daniel couldn't sleep. He couldn't think about anything else, so he did something dangerous. He returned to the place, to the edge of town, but the hotel wasn't there, only empty land and grass. And a small sign, "Private property, do not enter." But on the sign, someone had scratched 2 words, "Room 313." Daniel turned around to leave, but then a voice behind him. "Welcome back, Mr. Harris." He turned and saw the hotel, just as it was before, lights on, door open, waiting. Daniel couldn't run. His feet felt heavy. The hotel stood in front of him like a memory he couldn't forget. The man in the black coat was waiting at the door. "Your key is ready," he said, holding it out. But Daniel didn't take it. "I'm not staying." The man smiled. "You already did. The room is still yours." Daniel turned to leave, but the road behind him was gone, just fog, trees, darkness. He looked at his phone, no signal. "Why me?" Daniel shouted. "You opened the door," the man replied, "and the hotel remembers every guest." Suddenly, the ground shook. Lights turned on in the hotel, all windows glowing yellow. Daniel ran toward the forest, fast. He didn't look back, just kept running, until he saw a small cabin in the woods. Inside, an old woman sat by the fire. "I knew you'd come," she said. "How do I stop it?" Daniel asked. She gave him a photo. It was a picture of room 313, but the number was burning. "Forget the number," she said, "and maybe it will forget you." Daniel burned the photo, and slowly the whispers stopped. The dreams disappeared. The phone never rang again. He never saw the hotel again, but even now when he passes an old building, he checks the door. If there's no number, he keeps walking. And that's the end of our story. The hotel room with no number. What did you think? Did you understand most of it? Tell us in the comments. What would you do if you stayed in a hotel room with no number? And don't forget, where are you listening from? We love reading your replies. If you enjoyed this story, click like and subscribe for more English listening practice every week. Thanks for watching TalkUp. Keep listening, keep learning, and keep talking up. See you in the next video.